Rob. It's Monday, y'all. I just dropped off all the hotline orders that were way overdue. I apologize to everybody. Dropped off 100 orders.
아, 뭐 색깔?
Thank you. Been wanting to do the Akira sample for a long time. Waiting on the perfect fit. Since we filmed a little bit at night, I thought that was the perfect fit. Being we are in Neo Tokyo and all. All right, almost here. Yeah, I need to fix my audio issues, man. I'm not that good at it, at mixing. That's a professional's job. I don't know shit about audio, so I'm learning, but I agree. Matt Reyes. Ask me. Only Matt Reyes can ask me something right now. I was gonna take this time to show you how fucked up my desk is. I got some Christmas lights here. Check it out for that moody effect. Plug this in here. Oh yeah. I was gonna do a quick live computer talk real quick because I don't know if I want to make a real video about it. I just don't feel like, or maybe I will in the future, but people have been asking about my setup and my editing setup, so I just wanted to show. I do all my editing with this, dude. This is a 2018 Mac Mini. It's actually on right now. I'm rendering an 8K video, so let me see if this will turn on. Little gingerbread man. me type in my password. Oh, don't look at that. Those are my sticker orders that I just went out. Okay. Yeah. Fucking 3 hours to render a 8K video. So I'm rendering out a video. I shot a little bit of like, kind of just talking about it on the gimbal, and it's really not that interesting. Don't watch it. No, it's just me kind of rambling on while I'm writing up first half. But anyways, back to the computer. So I do all my editing on a Mac Mini. So far, so good. This is the I think it's, I'll get into the specs. I'll just pull it up on the computer so I don't say anything wrong, but it's sitting on this, this is like a Canadian brand called Speed. I think it's just Speed, and it's a fan. The biggest problem with the Mac Mini that I've ran into is cooling. It's just terrible at cooling. So if you're doing something like heavy processor intensive, this thing heats up so hot. And right now it's rendering an 8K video and it's like barely warm. So the bottom is a fan forcing air into the Mac Mini, and then there's an exit fan on the back. And then here I have two fans that are running air across to keep it cool. And then I use, I mean, Windows, yeah, I use Mac, dude. Adobe actually works better in Mac for me. I've used Mac for a long time. I used to be a PC guy. I switched to Mac once I went to college. I just prefer the OS over Windows. All the drivers and all that stuff, I can't stand that stuff. Anyways, that's a whole nother discussion. So I don't want to get into that. So I do all my working drive is one of these portable solid state drives. And that really keeps everything fast. And then this is my sloppy archival setup. So all the videos that I shoot and make for myself and clients as well are in here. And these are all, most of these are, these new ones are now 10 terabyte archive drives. So that's a 10 terabyte. And what it is it's mirrored. It's not a RAID or anything. These are just backups. So I have a regular and I have a backup. And I'm actually moving the backups to a different location once they're all, I'm verifying that everything is identical on these drives, and then I'm taking one and bringing it somewhere else just in case. So I always have a copy in case something breaks. That's the idea anyways. I have lost footage and media on a drive in the past when I was in college, and it sucks. There's videos that I wish I could share and talk about now that I've shot in the past that I actually think they're cool. And then I keep my photos on a separate drive. This is the working drive right now. It doesn't need to be that fast for photo because they're not that huge. And then I have another working drive here that I bring if I'm traveling. It's not as fast as that Samsung solid state. And then here is a dock that I have. So the Mac Mini, the reason why I was drawn to it is because it has 4 Thunderbolt 3 plugs on the back, and they're separated by 2 different channels. I think that's the right terminology. But basically, I can run multiple things out of just the 4 inputs on the back. So the one thing I have running into it is the hard drive, which is super fast for editing. I can edit the 8K footage on there pretty easy. Well, it's actually 6K. I'm up-resing to 8K. And then this is a Thunderbolt 3 dock, and my cameras shoot on CFast 2.0, all the Blackmagic cameras, and it also has an SD card reader right there. So I don't need to run in the back. I hate having to unplug things and plug things in. I like my things to be efficient, so it's right here in the front, ready to go all the time. And on the back of this, there is, I don't want to fuck anything up, but there's two USB A's. There's a 10G Ethernet, which I have one on the Mac Mini anyway, so that's, I don't really use it. There's an HDMI. There's a couple other interfaces, and then there's also a 60 watt additional Thunderbolt 3. So I can plug in, like right now I have, this is a power cable to a laptop, and I can plug it in and it charges the laptop. So really, as I can leave that here, take this laptop right here, it's actually not my laptop, I'm just borrowing it from my girlfriend, and I can just plug it in and it connects to my system and charges the computer at the same time. It's super sweet. So you don't have to carry the damn charger with you. I hate having to carry, I mean, you guys have probably, went to do something and you forgot one piece and then you can't do what you were trying to do. That happens to me a lot, so I like having to not bring as much as possible. And then the bread and butter of this system is this unit here. This is an external GPU, and I'm gonna forget the name. It's an Asus. The fans are actually not spinning right now. It's funny. This is what runs a lot of my rendering that isn't processor intensive for my Premiere projects. So this thing is like, this is what makes the Mac Mini work for editing, because it has a graphics card in here, but it's fucking terrible. So because of the Thunderbolt 3 connection, I can run it straight into here. And then I have a cable coming straight out of here into my monitor. And this monitor is a 4K LG monitor. And I'll show you the specs on everything here in a second if you want to see that stuff. Let me look for the little tripod thing for this phone so I don't have to, you guys don't have to deal with my shaky ass hands. Oh, here it is. Okay. So, about this Mac. So here we go right here. These are the specs on the computer. It's a 3.2 with a 6 core. It's an i7. So that's like the max upgraded processor that you can get with this model. And then I upgraded the RAM myself. Had to take apart the computer to do that. And I installed 64 gigabytes of DDR4. And the thing with this is you don't want to buy RAM from the Apple Store when you buy a computer. You'll save a ton of money if you just do it yourself. And then graphics, this is the graphics card that I just showed you, and that external GPU, there it is showing up, the RX Vega 64. It's an 8 gig, it's like overclocked. I bought it used and it's like a gamer setup. And I don't know, it does fine. And then here's the display. It's a 3840 by 1600, so it's a 21:9 monitor, which is sweet because I could, it's not gonna work right now because I'm rendering, but I can have like 3 windows and you can see everything pretty easily. So that's cool. What else can I show you? Storage, yeah, you can see. So I have a terabyte of hard drive storage in the Mac Mini itself, and then this is my working drive. And then there's the 2 sticks of 32 gig, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about the computer real quick for those of you interested. I'm looking at the live comments, and it seems that no one is really they're asking some great questions. How big are your calves? Cool. Let me see. I will get to the questions now, I guess. That's my computer setup. Let me pull up the questions here on the computer. Did you guys see the video I posted yesterday of Marco in Tokyo? Yeah, I've been, you guys know I'm holding on to some videos from Japan for a while, so just I wanted to put that one out, and I just don't know what order to put them out in, you know. So I was gonna put that one out first, but then I was like, no, I should put out Sada's, because Sada's video is pretty cool. By the way, Sada's video is back up. If you guys haven't seen that, I had to take it down for a few days, but it's back. Anyways, so yeah, I wanted to do the Acura sample for a while. I just think it's not exactly bicycle, but just the whole streaking taillights and the way that the city's portrayed is just super sick. It's like, it's been stuck in my head since the first time I've seen it when I was younger. I always wanted to like sample some of the graphics. So in that video, I found an upload of Acura of the first opening scene, where they reinterpolated, because that Acura, I'm pretty sure, was the first animation that was made at 24 frames a second. I think, I'm pretty sure I'm correct on that. If it's not the first, it's like one of the very first. And somebody took that original footage and they reinterpolated it to 60 frames a second, which means they like added frames to it to make it try to feel smoother and new. Like a lot of people shoot 60 frames. I don't, but so I took that footage. So when I put that back on a 24 frame timeline, it then becomes slow motion. So someone made Acura in slow-mo for me, basically. So I used some of it. I thought it was cool. Anyways, that's that. Can you guys even see me? I don't even see myself on the screen here. Hold on. I have to. Yeah, here we go. So yeah, I'll get to some questions real quick. Starting with the one on top. It's Camila's saying I should get on some gravel adventures with Cooper. Yeah, my bike, my 22 is, I need some, put my new wheels on there and I'm ready. Asking about the pedals I have on my my Low Pro. Those are they're actually on this bike right now. They're, what are they called? I'll take you with me. Yeah, they're Race Face Butchers. So they're plastic, but they have metal pins, and they're wide this way, which I like. And they're not so wide this way. It's like just wide enough for your foot. So when you're like turning corners, you don't, if your pedals are too wide, sometimes you can scrape, which is sketchy, especially on a track bike. These are nice. I mean, you can see I brought these with me to Russia, so I rode a lot in the rain. So the pins and the screws are all rusted out now, but they're still fine. Oh yeah, they're Chesters, Race Face Chesters. They're sick. They do belong on my single speed, but this needed pedals one day, so I took them, and I've been riding this around a little bit lately. How many of you guys rode BMX or still ride BMX? I'm not that good. I just enjoy pedaling around, cruising. Let me see. Hey Terry, I make 16 minutes of hotline with 1080p. Paila Strata is asking me a technical question about shooting 1080p on his GoPro. He says that 16 minutes takes 161 gigs when he's rendering. It sounds like you need to check your rendering settings. You might be at a very high codec, which you're kind of wasting your time when you do that, because YouTube is going to take it, or wherever you put it, Vimeo, if you put it up online somewhere, they have to compress it themselves, so it's going to degrade your quality. So everything that is online that you see has been degraded, and the best way I found in my approach to optimize it is they'll usually have like an ideal bitrate size, and I try to limit my bitrate when I export to that number. That way they don't extra compress it. It's like at their recommended size, so I feel like they don't compress it as much. So it feels like you have a little more control over your picture that way. I don't know if that helps. Can I see your helmet setup? Yeah, go watch the video. It's like hotline camera setup. Why did you change the name of the video I Love NYC More Than You? I changed it because I offended a person who has, I guess it's a brand that's called I Love New York More Than You. I wasn't at all trying to, in my eyes, I wasn't trying to like bite their thing or run with what they're doing. I just felt like that was a great title for the piece, and he immediately like messaged me. So when I had a chance, I took it down and I changed the title on YouTube, just out of respect. Even though at first it didn't make sense to me because it's just a video title, but it's okay. Like I understand now. So I changed the title. What else? When am I coming to Romania? I gotta get those plane tickets, man. A backpacking video? Oh, like bike packing, yeah. Can I bar spin the BMX? No. Not very well. Not at all. What's my favorite tire setup? It depends on what kind of bike I'm on, man. I don't know. For my single speed, I use Gator Skins only because I value not getting a flat over ride quality. But on some of my other bikes, I prefer, like on my track bike, I like, what are they, Continental, they're Grand Prix. Those are really nice. Ride dirt. I know, it's coming, the season's here. Actually, I was gonna do a quick loop 2 days ago, but I flaked. Oh man. Okay, let's see. Thanks for stopping by, Basic Mind Control. I appreciate that. Keep pedaling around. Deja Vu, you rode back in the 80s? A performer? I used to have a performer too. My first BMX, my first bike that's a real bike was a GT Interceptor. And my birthday is like really close to Christmas, so my mom was like, I'll get it for you for your birthday and for Christmas. And you gotta clean the house, and you got It was great. It was a black one. Favorite focal length for street photography? I'm a fan of the 35. 35 is like, I mean, that's a basic ass answer. It's like just close enough to a 50 where you can get close and take a portrait, or you can back up and get a nice wider shot, and it doesn't feel too wide, you know, it feels good. Coming to Chicago when I get some plane tickets. What's my opinion on tubeless? I love tubeless. Did I use the drone in one of my videos? Yeah, all my old 4K chasing videos, a lot of them have drone shots. I used to use them a lot more, but I'm not a fan of how static the shots can be and how perfect the horizon line is. And I feel like since I'm already using a gimbal when I'm doing hotlines, that it's like the same feeling, and that's why a lot of times, especially like the last Marco edit, there's shots that are like jumpy and like might look like amateur almost, like just fast moving and like shaky, and I feel like those shots pair and complement because it's a contrast to the smooth shots. So that's, just feel like when you put too many smooth shots together, it just feels like I don't know, you need a little contrast. Would you mind if I made a hotline sticker on vinyl? Yeah, dude, go for it, man. There's some guys in, they're in Peru, or they're in, I don't know where they are. Oh, they're in Chile, and they like bootlegged hotline stickers. And the reason why I know they're bootlegged is because they're not like hotline stickers are, here, let me show you. They're transparent. So like their stickers look like this. They're like white all the way through, and like the hotline sticker it's transparent, you know. So they tag me in photos on Instagram from time to time, and I'm not upset by it. At first I was like, oh, that's fucked up, but then I was like, that's kind of cool. Like someone way on the other side of the world is like, you know, repping in their way. Like I've sent stickers out there before, but I mean, I understand, like getting these stickers all the way over there is probably not really worth it. So it's cool that they're doing it. They're doing it on their own, so I'm not mad at it. But it is funny because they're not transparent. You can tell they're bootleg. Stick this on this cabinet. Dude, I wish I kept my old racing bike too. He's saying, I wish I kept the GT. What would you be doing if you weren't making videos? I'd be editing videos or shooting stills or talking about cameras or I don't know. This is just what I've done for a long time. Riding a bike, probably. We need another decline style video. Oh, yeah. I haven't been on a real ride, and I don't know if you guys have noticed. If you guys follow me on Strava, you probably see my face. I'm like getting fat. I haven't been riding. I've been really coming here and just editing a lot of stuff, trying to get things lined up and put out, because I shot that stuff so long ago. I don't want it to forget about it in my memory and then forget how to edit it, because I have ideas and stuff and notes that I need to abide by, so I got to get it out of my brain. Do you prefer cycling or filmmaking? Come on, I enjoy both. What do you think this channel is all about? What's a good shop to go hang around? Go to, oh my God, why am I spacing on the shop? Go to King Cog. King Cog is a cool spot. Go to Sun and Air. They have coffee. It's good coffee. Friendly people. What's the best top track bike in your workshop right now? My studio? My track bike's not here, so there's no other bikes. My bike is the best. It's the one I like the best because it's mine. Hello, Argentina. Favorite beer? Come on. That's not a real question. I don't know. Actually, I tend to always lately buy cheap beer. Modelo, Tecate, PBR, Budweiser. I feel like I drink a lot of like heavy IPA beers, and just light beer is easier, especially after a long ride. It's like water, so been buying that stuff lately. Will I make a compilation of those Russia videos? Yeah, I'm gonna be making like a recap of like the whole trip, including like bits from the hotlines and bits from the races, and like just kind of like maybe I'll narrate a little bit. I don't know. I live in a city in the southern U.S. Biking isn't popular here at all. How do you think this can change? More biking infrastructure seems to be a cultural thing than anything. Jordan's asking a good question. So about bike lanes, I think they're great to get people comfortable riding and growing like the cycling community in areas, but then after an area gets, say, like populated like New York with bike lanes, I feel that they become dangerous. It's good and bad in my opinion. And then so that's my outlook on that. And then how do you think it can be more popular? It's hard, man. Car culture is like super ingrained in a lot of places, especially places that aren't so dense cities. So I think only time will help that. I don't really have a good answer for that. Especially because I don't live down there, so I don't know exactly what's going on. But maybe, maybe starting with you and having family members or friends like go on rides with you and start there, start small. Yeah, I guess that wasn't a good answer, sorry. Gear inch requirement for hotline sticker. There is none. Bike cap brands? Like a hat? This is an Affinity hat. I'm biased though, because I ride an Affinity. What is something you hate when doing a hotline? Any weird antics from riders? I guess the thing I hate the most about those is that I don't really like being asked to do one with somebody, and I don't like getting cold emails from people asking to shoot them, because there's a lot of trust that happens, and I just need to know the person before I just go shoot with them. I have to, usually if I don't know them, I've seen videos of them riding and I'm like judging them that way. Because I'm following behind you, so if you make a mistake, it's like if you jump off a bridge, I'm like following right behind you, jumping off the bridge, so it's, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I smoked too much of this. Having too many ideas feels like one of them good problems. Any other hobbies besides filmmaking and biking? Photography. I have a really bad hobby. I've been playing some video games lately. I'm a old person who plays Fortnite sometimes with their friends. I'm interested in how complicated that game is. It's a very complicated game, I think, with the switching between like shooting and building and farming setups. It's crazy. That's not a very good hobby, though. You gotta love your Instagram stories, riding track bike. Yeah, sometimes I just ride the track bike when I don't have I just feel like kind of slow pedaling around. I'll just ride it with my shoes on, even though it has clipless pedals. A 10-speed BMX, you can make it work, but I don't know. Give it a try. It's probably not the best bike to climb with. What car did you jack that tire from? That is from a, have you heard of those, are they Volvos? Is it a Volvo or no, it's like a Subaru Impreza, but it's not a Subaru, it's another company, and they made them in Japan only, so that's like a Japanese wheel from a Subaru Impreza, but not Subaru. I think it's Volvo or another company. Forget the other company. Sorry, it's not mine. Have you faced any troubles in Russia? No. Russia was great. I'm seeing a couple like clips from some news agencies like kind of talking shit about my ride around St. Petersburg, but you know, I expect that. I was riding like an asshole. I didn't know where I was going. I was lost. It was really hard to do that. How are you coping with cold weather? Layers of clothes? Oh yeah, cold weather, I spend the money on the base layers. Merino wool is like your best friend, my best friend. It's expensive, but you can be dirty. You can wear it like a couple days in a row, it won't smell. It's kind of gross, but I have a few of them now, so I don't have to do that, but they're warm, and you wear them under a shirt and with a hoodie and like a wind breaking thing, and you're pretty good until it's like really cold. Layers, I like layers, and if I'm going somewhere nice, I just wear a nice big jacket, but those are days when I'm not on the bike. On the bike, I prefer to layer. What's my worst crash story? My worst crash on a bike was when I knocked myself unconscious and broke my wrist. But I was 13. I've been hit by cars and stuff, but it hasn't been as bad as that one. I had to go to I knocked myself unconscious and I had a concussion. So I was out of it. So I had to be rushed to the hospital in an ambulance, and it was during a BMX race. What camera would you recommend to shoot someone who wants to start shooting on film? Anything you can get your hands on, man. I know this is like feels like I say that every time, but I honestly think practicing is more important than gear. So the cheapest thing you can find, like go to the thrift store. Thrift stores are great places to find shitty little point and shoots. And just practice there. Film, like, see what your camera does out of the box, or from the thrift store. Shoot it how it's set up right there, and then read the manual, and then learn if there's any like custom functions or any features you can use, and then take notes and try that, and then try this, and then just keep experimenting. And then eventually, you can get another camera, but I think practicing and like learning what things do first is more important than like waiting for something nice or something someone suggests to you. Ever give bike polo a try? No, I mean, I've watched people play, it's super interesting, but no. This is my studio. PS4 gang. You know it's brilliant, but this is not. This is a PS4 controller, but I play Fortnite on Mac through my controller. It's so backwards. That's probably going to be changing soon. I might be doing a streaming games in the future, but I'll be buying like an Xbox or a PS4. I just need to stay busy in the winter, you know? Dude, Rust is a sick ass game. I agree. I know Rust. I didn't get to go to Bike Kill this year. I went last year and the year before. My girlfriend just came back from Japan. She came back that day, so I needed to hang out with her. I do. I edit it. Do I edit in Premiere? Yes, I edit in Premiere. Yes, Saab. That wheel, it's from a Saab. Subaru is what they're called. So they're like Subaru Imprezas, but a Saab version of it. They're fucking sick. I like clipless over toe clips for a track bike, but I don't ride my track bike around in the streets as much as like a lot of the people that I film. I ride my track bike with road cleats, and I use that bike to like ride really hard, and usually not in the streets because I push a pretty big gear. That's the bike that keeps me in shape. So clipless pedals. Do I like Polaroid cameras? I do like them. You're right, the film is really expensive. Never go controller versus mouse. Yeah, I know there's something about being like playing a game on a keyboard and mouse. Like I work with a keyboard and mouse, so like when I'm playing a video game, I want to feel like I'm not working. I don't know, it just feels like work. So then when I'm here, it feels like I'm relaxing. Like I'm already editing and like doing emails and bullshit with this interface. I don't want to do that when I'm playing a game. Does that make any sense? Or is that stupid? Have I ever talked to randoms on Omegle about bikes? I don't know. What's Omegle? What are you talking about? What is that? Anyways, good to meet you, Bella. How do you see the first verses your last hotline? What? Can you ask that again? I don't understand. Yes. So, Sandfertz is asking about indoor cycling. I plan on getting on Zwift possibly. I don't know if I'm gonna put it on this channel. I might start something else that's really dumb, but I'll link to that when it's up. But some Zwift mixed with some Fortnite maybe. We'll see. Next travel destination is somewhere warm. I'm gonna go somewhere for my birthday in December, so I don't want to be here when it's cold. Probably not bringing a bike though. What is Omegle though, Bella? Omegle? Huh. Well, maybe we did meet. I don't know. Any suggestions for tires for skids? Vittoria Randonniers are the best sliding tires, I think. And then gearing is what you feel comfortable with. Any program you recommend for small edits on pictures? Lightroom, man. Adobe Lightroom. Oh, Omegle is talk to random strangers online? Yeah, I don't know what it is. Don't go on Omegle. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's a website like Tinder. Oh. Yeah, I have a girlfriend. There's no reason I wouldn't be on there. If you master your keyboard, you master a lot. Easy to learn, hard to handle, like a bicycle. It's true. How about Hotline Zwift? I'll get my ass whooped by some Zwift people. My only thing that keeps me falling behind somebody is because they gotta go through traffic. As soon as they have a straight line, dude, I'm done. Gotta get into better shape. You should build a PC. I agree, Jordan. You're right. No, some freewheels don't click loud. If you get a White Industries freewheel like I have, they're pretty loud and they last for your lifetime. I've never broken one. Lots of junk. Alley Cat Race, even win one? Ever win one? No. The last one that I did technically got 6th, but they gave me 8th, I believe. That was the last one I did. Ditch the water, grab some beer. I feel you. Gotta hydrate though. Do you ever wrestle with any of your guy friends? Lol. No, don't wrestle too much. Hotline Marco was awesome. What's next? I'm exporting out an 8K video on the Fayutech gimbal and the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera in 6K, and I'm just showing the stability of the gimbal with that camera setup and while I'm riding a bike. So it's not the best judge of how smooth it could be because of me being on a bike. My arm did get tired after a while, but yeah, that's the next one. Yeah, some hubs do go louder the longer you have them. I think because all the oil and grease that's packed in gets worn out, spread out, and then also the clicks start to wear in, so then they're get bigger. I think that's how it works. I'm not sure. That's how it works in my head. Look Rider from Tokyo is lit. Subscribe to Bunny Hop like him. Yeah, dude, he's good. So, did you get arrested by the police? I did not. Yo, appreciate that about the 6K video. It's nice because I still shoot. I like to shoot stuff like that. It's kind of how I'd shoot photos in a similar fashion of just people kind of wandering about New York. And sometimes, especially I guess on this channel, those videos don't get viewed as much, but it's okay. I still like to do them, so it's cool to hear when people actually like them, you're probably here for the bike stuff. So thank you. Looking to build a bike polo frame. First, I'm not sure, man. I'm sure those bikes have this special geometry. Best camera to get into filming. Whatever camera you get your hands on. Got a mean hydrate game. Thanks, man. Gotta get this water down, dude. What are some of your favorite houseplants? I don't know the names of them, but we have a bunch of, like, we have 2 big trees and like some bushes and shit. My girlfriend got everything, and she was just away for a few weeks, so I was taking care of them and watering them, and I don't know. Umbrella trees. I like umbrella trees. Those are cool. We have 2 of those. Funniest moment on a bike. The most recent was it was like in an iPhone edit. We were riding back from riding mountain bikes at Prospect Park, and we were riding. It's really close to here. There's a skate spot where it's like a ramp and a ledge, and then it's like a 4-stair here, and then like a sidewalk. So it's like about this high of a drop and a gap, and a lot of people skate it. So these skateboarders, there was a cop pulled over these skaters, and they were obviously filming. There's a filmer there. There's a couple guys. So we saw them pulled over. So I was like, dude, hit it with the cops right there. So I filmed my friend hitting it on a mountain bike with the cops talking to the skaters, giving them a ticket. And then we just kept riding. And the skaters like looked over and saw us and were like, what? It was pretty cool. Not bagging on the skaters at all. I appreciate skateboarding. Bike frame repairs, go to King Cog for that. Name those plants. I'm gonna make a shirt that says name those plants. My favorite food would be, I've been fucking with soup a lot since I came back from Russia. Just lots of soups, different soups. Yeah, we have a spider plant, I think. That's the plant that she tells me it's impossible to kill. It's like growing all the way over like one of our water heaters. What other gimbal positions have you done before the helmet cam? Multiple. I tried to stick one like on a PVC pipe on my bike out in front of me, one behind me, and I put it on PVC so it would give it a little bit of like flex because the ground bumps fuck the gimbals up. So you want a little bit of like dampening for up and down. So I was like trying that, and this was like 5 years ago. Before that, I did a full DSLR on my helmet, but it was like a mouthpiece. So you can see POV this way, and that was cool, but it was really heavy and like great quality, but like very sketchy if you're trying to ride fast through traffic, because I didn't have a good area, like view perspective, you know. My view is really tight because of the full face helmet. But other than that, I've put the gimbal on, like, you know, in a car on a tripod, like upside down. I think that's about it. I don't know. I've been messing with like small and big camera like setups for a while. Am I going to Monster Truck next year? Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know when it is. But if I'm around, maybe. Yeah. I mean, I filmed the last 2. I've been trying to make you watch my bike vid. Have I not seen it, Josh? It's like a mini Affinity front fork museum. Yeah, look at those forks. What program do I use for the color corrector grade? So Jordan's asking a good question. I should be using DaVinci Resolve because I have it for free with all my cameras, my Blackmagic cameras, but with all the footage, including the GoPro stuff, I use a plugin for Premiere. It's called Film Convert, and what it does is it tries to simulate different film stocks. So it has like, you know, Portra 400. It has like, I don't even think that's a cinema film really, but it has like Velvia Austria, I don't know how to pronounce it. A few of those, and then I use that, and it has, you can manipulate the grain and add grain. So sometimes I have videos where it looks a lot different, and it's because I've like really messed with the film grain on them. And it messes with the color and the grade a little bit. So that's what I use, but I should be using DaVinci Resolve. On the last like 8K videos, that was all the film convert. It's called Film Convert Nitrate, and they just came out with the Pocket 6K version of it, so I just used it on that. So maybe in the future I'll start using the correct color grading software. But right now, yeah, that's all it is. Any plans on doing a live hotline? I tried twice, and when I'm in the city, I lose signal and it just drops too many frames and it's just unwatchable. So I have to wait until maybe the 5G network is up, and then I can do some of those. Looking forward to that. Chess gimbal mounts are popular on mountain bike channels. I've tried chess gimbals as well in the past on stuff. There's some on the channel. If you go to like some of my very first videos, you can see there's some of them where with a gimbal on the chest. They're cool. It's just a different feeling. It's more like a hotline. I don't want you as a viewer to notice me on my bike. I want it to feel like kind of like a drone or something. Whereas if it's about me riding, then yeah, if you see my handlebars and stuff, it's a little bit more personal about my ride and less about the person in front of me. Craziest bike conversion I've done? Huh? I had a Schwinn road bike. I made it a fixed gear. It was all chrome. It was pretty sick. I guess that's an answer. I think that's what you're asking. Have I tried belt drive in traffic? I haven't tried a belt drive at all. I don't know how I feel about them, honestly, because you have to have your gearing like dialed in, and if you change gearing, you have to buy a new belt. At least with a chain, you know, you can slide the dropouts back. I guess you can do that on a belt too. I just feel like you can't remove links from the belt and add links if you needed to, which I do sometimes. I don't know. You ever use the VSCO filters for your Lightroom Premiere? I've used VSCO on photos, then imported those photos into Premiere as a bunch of photos and made it a video in the past. It takes a long time. But never the new thing that they have. Do you ever winter bike in snow? Yeah, on my mountain bike. How do you deal with angry drivers? You kill them with kindness, man. You just smile, and you say hi, thank you. I'm sorry you're so angry. Who's your tattoo artist? I don't have one. I have a bunch from different people. What do you think about riding with a mask for polluted traffic roads? I don't know, man. That's some crazy training. I guess it's better for your lungs that way, but I feel like it's very restrictive. How do I grade my GoPro footage? Like I just said, I use Film Convert. The real trick with it is when I shoot with my GoPro, most people who shoot bike stuff, at least, they just turn their GoPro on and then they just hit record. And I just don't work with cameras that way. I would rather control my exposure, especially with the GoPro. It doesn't handle highlights like the sky. It doesn't handle the sky very well. It always likes to blow it out, and like what was a blue sky turns to like a white like crazy looking shit. And so what I do is I control my exposure, and I usually dial it in. I'm usually kind of exposing more for the highlights and less for the shadows, in the dark stuff in the street. So a lot of times my footage will feel like darker because I'm exposing for the highlights, because I know the GoPro is not going to handle the highlights very well, at least in the lower ISOs. So I shoot at a really low ISO, exposed for the highlights, and that's guaranteeing me all the information, and the latitude's going to be in the shadows. And then in post I can bring the shadows up a little bit, but I don't like to bring it up too much because then it's going to feel really fake and like HDR. So I just like lift them a little bit. That's kind of how I do it. No, Mara Brewer race courage. Yeah, sorry, David. My girlfriend just came back. That's the night she came back. So, like I said earlier about Bike Hill, I couldn't go because, my girlfriend just came back from Japan, so I needed to be there for her. I really wanted to be at that race though. Beginner cameras, your phone. Yeah, film convert's cool, Jordan. How much time do you spend rendering 4K videos for YouTube? With this setup that I just showed in the beginning of the video, it's a 10-minute length video is kind of like if you guys have noticed, I try to put a 10-minute like video out. Lately they've been a little shorter, but it takes between 15 minutes and 25 minutes. It's really doesn't take that long. And there's a lot going on. There's like film convert going on. There's like, I had to get rid of like distortion in the lens a lot. So like there's things that it has to calculate. So the computer does a pretty good job. And it takes YouTube forever to encode. Well, my upload times are really fast here because I moved into the studio and it has fiber here, which I didn't know about until after I was set up, and I went to like look at the modem, and there's a fiber cord plugged in. I was like, whoa, we got fiber. So I have, that's something I didn't talk about with my computer. I have the 10G Ethernet. So I have a 10G cable coming out of our 10G Ethernet output from the modem. That's where the fiber goes into. So I have a direct 10G line straight into my Mac Mini. So I'm using fiber, and I have like the fastest connection from the modem to my computer. So my times are really fast. Not as fast as this phone because it's on Wi-Fi or whatever. It's a lot faster than it's so much faster than the Wi-Fi connection. It's crazy. It's worth the struggle. Can you, as someone, make kind of a tutorial video with tricks and tips, analyzing situations, crucial skills, suggestions, how to ride through traffic? That's a good question. I think instead of doing it in real time, I could take videos that I've already shot and then talk over them. Maybe I think that'd work out better, because talking in the middle of something going on, I feel like we would be out there riding, trying to make things happen, and that's not cool. Like, I'm not about that. We go out there and ride, and like things happen on their own, and we react. We don't go and try to make things happen and try to react to them. It's pretty sketchy to do. Like, I don't recommend doing that. Don't promote that. Have you ever ridden a tall bike or watched a Black Label tall bike? Yeah, I have. I saw them at I saw tall bikes at Bike Hill last year and the year before. Favorite bands / music. I don't have a favorite band. I'm going to see Hiatus Coyote tonight with my girlfriend. It's kind of like jazzy, soul-y kind of music. They're from Australia. I don't know. I don't really have a favorite, really. It kind of goes with my mood, like the seasons. Like, I'll listen to this, and then I'll like go over here and kind of it feels that way when I watch my own edits. I can see what kind of mood I was feeling, or how I was editing, or how it fit the vibe. Is kind of how I listen to music. It's like how I feel, you know. That make any sense? Yeah. How would you describe the difference between the GoPro and your cameras? Oh, my pro cameras. There's huge differences in quality. It's like the reason why this channel even started was because for work I would use a big camera and work with many people, and sometimes I just wanted to I just wanted to shoot something, or like I wanted to test it, like how can I make this camera stable, like how can I get this point of view, how can I try this. So I would just try things, and I immediately gravitated towards smaller cameras because I wanted to use things that like everyone had access to and try to get the most, pull the most out of it. So that's kind of what I did with the GoPro, is like I just stuck with it and then just started learning how to like really pull out, like get the most dynamic range, get the most like best picture quality, you know. So if you can go back and look at like my first hotlines to like more later hotlines, and you can see, like you can take a frame from each and you can see the color difference, the way the picture looks. They're all in 4K, but you can see like there's little subtle changes. And then like audio came into play. I started recording better audio, and even though I'm still really bad at it, but trying to get better at it. So that's the difference between the cameras. It's just like the smaller cameras I use them more because of at first was trying to get the most quality and really figure them out. And now it's like, now that I know how to get the picture out of it, now it's like convenience. Like I don't want to carry, you know, like, I mean, this is a smaller camera here, but like I don't want to be carrying this all day, like trying to shoot something. If I'm on my bike or something, like it's kind of expensive. Like it's not as small as a GoPro. It's heavier. I have to wear a backpack now. Like with GoPro, I can get away with like putting it in a handlebar bag, the gimbal, and it's just convenient. It's easier to carry around. You can carry multiple batteries easily. Convenience. So the difference is like quality versus convenience, and sometimes they meet in the middle, and I'll use like a lot of different cameras. I don't know, that was a big long ramble. Are headwinds, crosswinds a regular part of riding? Yeah, dude, headwinds, that's just cycling, man. Cycling, even skateboarding. I remember when I used to skate, I used to hate it. I'd like, oh, I'm gonna go skate, and I'd go outside, and it would be like a windy ass day. You can't fucking skate when it's a windy day. You can't do any flip tricks. You can't. It's hard to ollie. Like you're like, oh. On a bike, it's the same thing. You're like, oh, it's great. You go outside, and you're like, fuck. Why is it a headwind 60 miles up? And then you're like, you know, you grab some food and some coffee, and you're like ready to ride back like south, and then you have a headwind again. You're like, how is that possible? Yeah, definitely a thing. Do you feel biking tearing on your body, like your knees are that? So do you think you change your... No, I don't feel that bad on my bike, really. I mean, I switch bikes around a lot, so I'm not like riding my fixed gear every day. I'll ride my single speed, and then I'll ride the BMX, and I don't know. I get bored doing the same thing. pretty easily. I also skate. I got a little cruiser board. I got a shitty like real skateboard that you can tell I haven't ridden in a long time because the wheels are straight orange, like yellow. And then Boosted hooked me up with a board a long time ago, and I use this for filming, so I don't ride around on this. I don't let anyone see me ride this. It's only for filming. I also have this secret weapon here. It's a scooter. That thing's also really embarrassing to take out in public, but I'm using it for a project, so that's coming down the line. So yeah, I think because I just bounce around doing different things, I don't work my knees that much. Please do a bar spin in the middle of the room. I can't do a bar spin. I'll try to see if I can do a 180 really quick though. It's got a free coaster, so I might not be able to do it in this small space. Whoa! See, there's not enough room in here. One more try. Alright, you get the point. Sorry, Colin. I lost everything. I'm gonna turn this off here soon. Let me just answer a few more of these. Yeah, headwinds are better workouts for sure. I'm gonna come to India when I get my tickets. Don't break too much. Sweet, okay. I think I got most of the questions. Thank you guys for signing in, and I think I'm going to be starting that like sit down conversational thing with people soon, so let me know in the comments, who you would like to hear from. Like a sit down conversation, just me and them, a camera. I gotta get some nicer microphones, and then we're probably gonna start filming those and putting them up here. So if there's anyone you want to know more about, like owners of companies, people who ride bikes, filmmakers, photographers, artists, I'm gonna start doing it. So anyways, I'll see you guys soon. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. There'll be an upload here in a few hours, so hopefully you guys check it out. See ya.